Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome back to Tekpon. Today our guest is Pete, the head of growth at RB2B. Hello Pete.
Hello, thanks for having me. How you doing?
Good. Thank you for joining our podcast. At first, please tell us what your company does.
Yeah. RB2B is a website visitor identity tool. We are a we are a brand under retention.com, which is our parent brand, which also
Okay.
does de-anonymization. The way to think about the two products, RB2B is going to deliver a business profile to the companies who are trying to de-anonymize their traffic. So by business
Mm-hmm.
profile, I mean like company information, job title, business email address, LinkedIn profile, things like that. Retention, our parent brand, identifies individual information for folks who are running D2C businesses.
And retention.com is mostly for e-commerce, right? While RB2B is for B2B companies.
Exactly. Exactly.
So basically it's the same product but with different industries? Or what you see are the differences?
Yeah, the really so we I was talking to somebody yesterday who actually has a B2B e-commerce business, and they were using our B2B. But the main difference is if you're trying to sell your product to a individual or to a business as the end user. If you're selling to a
Right.
business, you're most likely going to want the business profile information, like the business email, LinkedIn profile, company details. That way, you can further filter and qualify from there.
What do you say is the biggest problem that the product solves?
The biggest problem.
Yes.
Yes. So for us right now, our biggest problem is helping our audience and our users make this data more actionable so that they can actually translate the leads that they're seeing into, ROI or valuable marketing insights or something that is, really a irreplaceable piece of their tech stack. We haven't quite accomplished that yet.
I understand. Thank you. Thank you for the transparency. What do you say are the most loved features of the product?
Just the ability to identify visitors, especially through our Slack integration. People really
Okay.
like seeing that those notifications actually come through Slack.
Hmm.
And it's kind of like a dopamine hit to actually see qualified leads. Maybe people that you talk to or folks that are on your prospect list actually show up and
Nice.
you can see the page visits and all of that stuff. So that's definitely a very exciting part of the platform.
Okay. And for anybody that is curious on how it works, how do you actually get this data? How does it work? So you can see who is visiting the website, both as a person, as an individual, and as a company.
Yeah, absolutely. So at the moment, we only resolve individual profiles. We'll get into a little bit more about the differences between our other folks in the space when we talk about that. But the way it works, when you sign up for RB2B, you'll enter in your domain, and that's going to generate a custom script for your domain. The
Hmm.
custom script is going to give us it'll basically allow you as the website to collect a first party cookie to give us just a little identifier as to who the person might be. From there, that initial identifier gets cross-referenced with our contact database, which basically just puts together more pieces of the puzzle as to who the person might be. We can't resolve everybody. We can't get a complete, accurate, confident profile on all of your visitors. On average, it's about 20 to 30% of USA-based traffic. It's
Okay.
only USA-based traffic, so people who are concerned about GDPR and all these international data privacy laws, we only resolve USA-based traffic. If you're based in Germany or the UK or anywhere else in the world, you can still use the platform. Just know that it will not resolve traffic outside the US.
Okay. So it's only for the US. Okay.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
how does the pricing work?
The pricing?
Yes.
So when you start, you do get a 7-day full featured access. That's
Hmm.
7 days from when you actually verify your script. So if you want to sign up, play around, add users, do preliminary stuff, it's not going to start that clock yet. But pricing works off of resolved profiles. And that basically will count as a credit. So a credit is just a resolved profile that we can actually deliver to you. Now, if you visited our website 20 times in the last month, that would only count as one credit. So a credit is a
Nice.
unique resolved profile per month or per billing
Yes.
period.
Okay. 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 But what actual information do you get when you marked it as a resolved case? So you get the email, full name, what else?
Email, full name, title, company details, LinkedIn profile, website activity, information, so you can see what pages they went to.
Ah, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so
That's
all
super
that's
helpful.
included. We
And I'm
do
curious.
have a free option for less than 200 or less profiles per month are completely free. So folks who are of smaller volume, maybe trying to find product market fit, trying to find their ICP, have low volume. Even if you're not using it as a sales outreach tool to get started, you can use this as like a free traffic listening tool as you're in those early stages. So a lot of our free users are using it for that, which we absolutely love. We think that's a great use case.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's super helpful and they appreciate this. But how about the market? I think it's quite a competitive market. You managed to disrupt it, and everyone heard about RB2B in a couple of months. And you are the head of growth, so one of the people responsible for this massive growth. So tell us how you see the market, how the product is different, how you managed to beat competitors that are VC funded and with a lot of marketing and experience before you being bootstrapped, right?
Yeah, so I have to give tremendous credit to Adam, Diana, Santosh, the folks who really built this audience and the retention.com side of things before my time here. So without their work, the foundation of what we were able to do at RB2B wouldn't have been built, and it just wouldn't have been the rocket ship that it is. So prior to me even doing anything, they had built an incredible foundation. From there, really what we're doing is just trying to capitalize on the noise and sort of conversation that's happening in LinkedIn. LinkedIn is responsible for about 60-70% of the traffic coming in, the signups. The other 30% of the other 30%, about 20% is from email marketing, 10% is from paid ads. So that's roughly our split from channels. So on the LinkedIn side, when I started, we were getting maybe a couple of folks a week to post about RB2B. And I mean like real posts, real, not just where we're included in a laundry list of tech tools. That's sort of been this engagement hack people are using. But we've grown over the past quarter to over 250 plus mentions and pieces of user generated content per week. The way we've done that, we tried a few different incentives to get people to post more about us. We tried paying them, we tried giving them free RB2B Pro, but nothing is working better than exposure. So when I say folks and the people that are posting about it, about 80% of these people are demand gen agencies.
Okay.
And about 20% are B2B SaaS founders and smaller SaaS teams. So
Okay.
these are the people that are posting about us and really want to capitalize on the exposure that they can get through RB2B or the RB2B community. So that's been a major goal of mine, is just increasing the amounts of buzz that's happening through our third-party creators. I've been doing some posting myself. But Adam still does really the legwork and more probably on our LinkedIn community. One note before I just talk about a couple other channels on the LinkedIn community, we are trying to and are actively working towards having a more robust, group of characters, if you will, in the RB2B community and RB2B team, as opposed to just Adam. There's sort of a lot of elevator risk in that, right? We don't want all of our content to be based around one person. What if he's, I don't know, gets sick? There's just so many things that could happen, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
So, and then the other two or other channels that we're really using from a marketing perspective, email marketing. We have an agency who helps us out, sales automation systems, Taylor Heron, who we publicly speak about. He's great. And then our other two channels, we're running an SEO experiment right now, also led by an agency, Results TBD, and paid ads. We're using Understory, who's a great agency partner of ours. They've done some content for us. They're running our thought leadership ads on LinkedIn. So basically what we're doing is taking Adam's best posts, ones that are a little bit older, 3 weeks or more, We
Okay.
consider those to have basically been lost in the ether at that point.
Yes. Yes.
LinkedIn's just a continuum, so we've been promoting those. That's been working really well. We've been getting over 100 signups per week using our LinkedIn ads. So, and then
Wow.
the other thing we're doing, we're starting to promote third-party posts. So people who post about us, we're
Yes.
promoting their ads on our ad account. It's working okay. We got to really dial in and figure out the right type of third-party ads that convert well, but it's been a fun experiment. So that's really the main pillars of our growth right now.
But this is a new feature, right? To actually promote content from a personal profile, because before you could do it only from the company page. Am I right?
Yeah, so exactly. That was a major differentiating factor when we launched this in March. Most of the businesses still who are doing this are resolving account level information, company level information. We took it a step further and started doing individual level information. At the moment, we just do the individual level. We've talked about expanding to account level. It's not a part of the system yet. I have no idea when, what, if, all that, but it's been a
Yeah.
conversation. We want to get to a place where people don't have to use as many data providers and data sources to enrich and actually get good contact information. It's a little bit of a pain right now. It's a little expensive.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So
Absolutely. And when did the company start versus when did you join? You joined 10 months ago, right?
So I joined in January. We launched on March 1st. And
Oh,
this is
okay.
2024 I'm talking. So January 24 I started. We officially launched. You could say soft launched March 1st. And really what we kind of launched like a minimum viable product, or maybe one notch above minimum viable product, but it was pretty lean. You couldn't filter any leads. It was just a sort of static data feed delivery of whoever visited your profile. Now we're starting to add in other features, and we have a great roadmap that's going to make kind of building workflows out of RB2B easier. But yeah, I had a two month, I guess, ramp up before we launched.
And are there two separate teams for RB2B and retention.com, or is it just one team working on both products?
Yeah, great question. So, just so there's context for you and the listeners, like from a revenue standpoint, about 90% of our revenue still comes from retention.com. Okay, so they have 40 plus people on their team.
Okay.
And then on the RB2B side, we have, well, there's a couple folks who work on both, but let's say under 10, or maybe in the neighborhood of 10 who are helping out with the RB2B project. So considerably smaller staff, a few folks work on both. Our C-suite, of course, interacts with both, as you might assume, but below that, all of the team leads are separated by product.
That's amazing. I think that's amazing. And what you achieved with such a small team, of course, you had the experience as a company, but still, it's super appreciated in the LinkedIn community.
Yeah, no, it's been very exciting. We're just trying to experiment with as many like LinkedIn community, content plays and things that we can. It's been a problem we're trying to address right now is that like most of our community really lives inside of LinkedIn comments, which is a little bizarre. Like we don't really have, like I can't download a list of our community.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think we can download Adam's followers or like all of our followers. But the point is, there like a lot of the content on LinkedIn just kind of dies after a week, or it doesn't die, but it goes into the abyss. It's more of a continuum. So we're trying to figure out a better way for our community to interact, and that's certainly one of my top initiatives here.
To actually be your own community, because if, for example, tomorrow there is no LinkedIn, you lose a lot of the community people. So it's better to have them in email, and yeah, the classic problem.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, even to just capture an email, I think is has become a little bit of a lost simple art.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to collecting a good email list? Like
Yeah.
now we're just flooding our databases with this collection of Zoom info leads and as many leads as we can possibly find. And RB2B is really on the opposite end of the spectrum there. We don't, I tell anybody I talk to who's in our user base, like RB2B is not going to deliver you the most amount of leads that you can ever find. I mean, you can go to ZoomInfo or BuiltWith or any of these platforms and get huge, robust, just high volume lead lists. But what RB2B is going to show you is a smaller group of leads that are of much higher intent. So if you're just using RB2B to, take an extra 5%, or, increase your cold outreach or your cold email high volume strategy by 5%, you're probably not going to see a major uptick. But if you take those high intent leads and you complete high intent sales activities with them, you send them custom emails, videos, you take a little bit more of an ABM style approach, maybe not all
Yes.
the way deep ABM, but that's really the way that the folks who are using this and getting the most traceable direct ROI, that's the way they're using it.
Now I'd love to hear your background story. So basically, how you started your career, and after all of this experience, what would be your best piece of advice for a starting marketer?
For a starting marketer, so I
But
think,
first of all, tell us how you started, just so people know the journey.
yeah. You want me to talk about okay.
Yes.
So I originally went to school. Well, I originally went to school for jazz guitar, but I transferred and studied marketing instead.
Okay.
And from there, I found myself in sales, and I did sales for a bit. Then I did some sales management, some like onboarding management. And I just started basically interacting with different parts of the customer journey through these different roles that I had in different places. So, I mean, very early in my career, I was doing cold calls and cold outreach, as a lot of sales professionals do. It's kind of the gateway. Right. I was a sales engineer for a bit, so a little bit, more complicated product. It led parts of an onboarding flow somewhere, led sales teams, led marketing initiatives. So I really bounced around to different parts of the customer journey, from like bottom of the funnel all the way back to the top to, and really bounced around. But I think if I was to start again, I really found my way into B2B SaaS kind of, I don't want to say coincidentally, but like maybe serendipitously. Like it just, in my early 20s, I didn't really know much about the B2B SaaS space, as none of us do as we're starting out, but it really became something that interested me in terms of like help using tech tools to help make business activities more efficient and help make their jobs easier. And that applies very broadly. So my advice would be like, figure out the types of things you want to sell and market, and the types of people you want to market to, because, I couldn't really launch over to a D2C e-com brand, and some of my skills just wouldn't be that directly applicable. So
Right.
Don't think about the product itself. Think more about the way that the product interacts, like who the end user is. Is it a business? Is it an individual? What's the type of interaction they have that business has with their audience? And try to work backwards from there. And think, I know this sounds ridiculous, but like the product actually isn't all that important when it comes to developing your skills as a salesperson or a marketer. The product gets learned on the spot. You're going to flip to, you're going to work through different products, and you, meaning, anybody in this audience, you're going to work for different products throughout your career. And it's really the skills behind getting those products to market that are going to be transferable.
Totally agree, and I'm grateful for sharing this advice. Thank you. Last question for you, Pete, today. What's your favorite SaaS that you use, but apart from RB2B or retention?
Oh, my favorite SaaS tool? Oh,
yes.
Man. Okay. I'm going to rattle off a few. I hope that's okay. I'm going to kind of hop to a couple different areas. So I'm really, I don't want to say obsessed, but I'm very, very interested in tech tools that make certain activities like exponentially quicker and easier. So a few examples of that would be Intercom. We use Intercom for our customer support and our knowledge base. And what that tool allows us to do is use all the knowledge and conversations and support communication that comes through RB2B and use that as a training set of data for an AI bot to then continue to learn and actually start to handle more of these AI requests. Rob Clark at our company, He's actually at the Intercom conference in London right now. They invited him because
Amazing.
he was able to get our AI support up to 98%. So only 2% of the time when someone needs help do they talk to a human. Now we're
Wow.
happy to talk to people. We're like more than happy, but it's just if someone can
Why
get a
to do it?
conversation done with a bot, that's the move.
Yes. Wow.
My other two, I mean, I love like simple ones like Canva and Notion. Like I really love the ability to share. But my favorite, I'll answer your question directly. My favorite, the one I use the most, is just LLM AI. I use Google's Gemini Advanced. A lot of people use ChatGPT and others. I just find Gemini, it works well with the Google Suite and it's good for creative language generation. But man, that is the one that I could not live without. I swear I could not live without it. My job would be so much harder. I would get
Yes.
so much less done, and the work quality would probably be a bit worse. So AI, Google Gemini for me. If you use ChatGPT, use one of them. Just use something.
Yes. That's amazing. Perfect. Thank you so much, Pete. Thank you for joining our podcast. Thank you for sharing the insights. And yeah, I wish you all the best with the product. We appreciate you, all of the LinkedIn community, and you are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I just look forward to continuing to work and build cool things. So appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Perfect.